Today's podcast is brought to you by Audible. Get a free audiobook download and a 30-day free trial at www.audibletrial.com/historyfangirl. Over 180,000 titles to choose from for your iPhone, Kindle, Android, or MP3 player.
Hi, I'm Stephanie Craig. Welcome to the History Fangirl podcast. This is episode 54, the World Nomad Games, Part 1, Sports. This episode is something a little different. I'm spending this week in Kyrgyzstan covering the World Nomad Games, which is a celebration of sports, culture, and history of the nomadic people. The World Nomad Games are essentially the Olympics for nomadic peoples and nomadic traditions. Games that were invented by the earliest steppe people and passed down for millennia are on display. Think horseback archery, ancient games of intellect, and polo played with goat carcasses. Celebrating the history and culture of nomadic peoples across the world, there are sports from multiple continents, and about 80 countries are participating this year. I'm going to split the games into 2 podcast episodes. For today, I interviewed a number of the athletes who have come to Kyrgyzstan to compete in different sports. They have a wide variety of backgrounds and connection to the games they are playing, but they have all come in the spirit of celebrating these important and often overlooked cultures. The music in today's episode is something that I recorded today while watching some of the performers in the opening ceremonies sing traditional Kyrgyz folk music while playing string instruments and riding on horses. It was mesmerizing. I hope you enjoy this special look at this important event, appreciate the music, and get excited. If you want to know more about the World Nomad Games, I'm covering them intensely on my Instagram and Facebook pages all week. I'm History Fangirl on both. And then for part 2, which will come out after the games, we'll dive into the culture, history, and traditions of nomadic steppe people. A note about the audio quality. These interviews for today were recorded live in a very noisy venue. Occasionally you'll hear the snap of a whip, especially during the segment on Great Britain, as there was a whip demonstration happening nearby. You'll also hear the din of conversation around me at all times. My producer is wonderful, and he's going to do as good a job as possible to level out the sound and to make it so that you can really hear the voices, but just know that this is something that is me doing live interviews is a work in progress. And then also one of the interviews includes a translator. So just be patient as I am talking in English to someone who is translating that into Turkish, and then he is translating the answers back. So definitely pay attention to that interview as it's with the head of the Turkish horseback archery delegation, but just know that in between you'll hear the translation. And thanks so much for listening.
Hello, my name is Garrett. I'm the director of the United States Kok Boru Federation, as well as the co-captain for the United States Kok Boru team here at the 3rd World Nomad Games in Kyrgyzstan.
And did you compete in the first and second games?
I did not compete in the first games, but I did compete last year in Kazakhstan at the World Championships, and I can only tell you that it has been an adventure unlike anything I've ever experienced.
So why don't you tell listeners a little bit about what Kok Boru is? It's the national sport of Kyrgyzstan, but what is it?
Well, not to correct you, Steph, but it's Kok Boru.
Okay.
And Kok Boru, from what I've come to learn, the English translation would be called Blue Wolf. This is not a game. This is one of the most intense competitions you could possibly ever enter in. It's the best way to describe it would be 4-on-4 horseback rugby, where your athletes, as well as the horses being athletes, because they are trained unlike anything I've ever ridden in America or in the Western world. These guys have been riding horses. This culture has been riding horses far beyond anybody in America. Therefore, they have skills unlike anybody I've ever seen. They utilize Kok Boru as a means of manhood, of making it to the next transition. I believe Genghis Khan used it as a way to find his warriors, and they utilized it as one-on-one. And it was, there's multiple ways of looking at the game. In Kazakhstan, it's Kokpar. In Tajikistan, it's Buzkashi. So it's all the same thing, yet there are variations and differences here and there.
And how did you get started participating in this ancient game?
I was asked last year by Vista 360 and a gentleman, a dear friend of mine, if I would want to be support for the team. And we didn't have any funds to basically buy some safety equipment. So I said, sure, I would help out in raising some funds to A, for awareness, but B, also for the guys' safety. As soon as we showed up, we had 2 athletes in training get hurt. So the team came to me and said, Garrett, would you ride? Because we had 1 less person, and we need 8 people to at least compete. So while we were at the World Championships, they asked me to put on a jersey. I got to put on a jersey. I got to experience this sport. And I've been converted, and now it's in my blood, and it's an addiction that, unfortunately, we're trying to figure out how do we bring it to America. So that's the task that I'm been given, and creating the United States Kok Boru Federation, and bigger is the United States Nomadic Sport Federation, where we can try and cultivate all these people that have come here to the World Nomad Games in America under a banner to where we can have more involvement in things like this.
And what are you looking forward to the most while you're here?
I'm looking forward to meeting people that I've met in the past from Uzbekistan and Tajikistan, and old friends that I made last year, but then also making new friends from other countries and meeting folks like you from America, where it's like, hey, nice to see you, good to meet you.
Well, thank you so much.
You're
and
welcome.
Good luck. Go USA.
Go USA. Tune in.
Thanks.
You're welcome. Thank you.
My name is Norzbay. I am from Tajikistan. Tamir Murgab.
And that is a mountain in Tajikistan?
Yes, there is 90% of. Only the 100% is mountain.
Oh, wow.
Yeah, the roof of the world, they say.
And what are you at the games for?
Our project is the horse games.
Okay.
There is horses. We use the Kyrgyz tradition. We live in Tajikistan, but we use the Kyrgyz tradition. We still keep in touch. Now we came for show our Kızkumay, this traditional horse games. The chasing a girl in English. Yeah.
When you do the horse games, what does it look like?
Look like 2 pair, 1 woman and 1 man. They are on horse, the 100 meters distance, and the girl should be stand 15 meters in front of the man, and she will escape from him, and the guy, he will try to catch her, and if he can't catch, he will kiss her.
Oh my God.
And again, if he can't, again the boy will escape from the girl. If she will take, he will stick with whip, stick him. Yeah,
oh, wow.
Strong.
How did you start playing that game? What made you want to compete in that game? How long have you been doing it?
For 5 years, our project is. Yeah.
And the game is very old?
Yes, very old. And all-time Kyrgyz people, it's coming from an ancient time. The Kyrgyz people who will want to get married, and they will organize such a game. And if he get to girl, they should be get married each other.
Okay.
Yeah, it's old tradition. Yeah.
What if she doesn't want to marry him?
Sorry?
What if she doesn't want to marry him? What if she wants to marry somebody else?
Yeah, it's a tradition.
What are you looking forward to during the games?
Now we will show, and we will compete each countries.
Yeah.
There is Kazakhstan, Turkmenistan, and Kyrgyzstan, and other countries. They will compete each other. Yes.
Well, thank you so much. Good luck.
You're welcome.
I am Rauf Özgen. I came from Turkey. I am president of Turkish Mangala Federation. We are playing Mangala games, 9 Kumalak ORE. And there are other participants here from Turkey. That's all.
So Mancala is like so in America I think we call it Mancala. It's the game with.
Yes.
How did you start playing that game?
Mancala, the Turkish Mancala. In here, there's 3 sections: Turkish Mancala, 9 Kumalak, 9 Korgol, and Vari. Turkish Mancala is our traditional game, and it has around 4,000 year history with 9 Korgol, because we came same place. This Kyrgyzstan is our grandfather's place.
Because
yes, all
Kyrgyzstan are Turks and Turkey is okay.
all Turkic countries' history starts here. It's too old game, intellectual game, and we are playing it, and everybody enjoy it.
Is this your first World Nomad Games?
Yes, my first, my friend's second.
And what do you like best about the game?
Our game? Why? Because it's not physical game. You can only use your mind.
That's the thing. So the World Nomad Games has a few intellectual games, right?
There is no game. You are sitting and you are making sport.
Well, good luck in the games. Thank you so much.
Thanks.
Perfect. Can you introduce yourself?
His name is Sami Genel. He came from Kayseri, Turkey. He is the president of Horseback Archery Association.
And how did you get started in that sport?
Bu spora ne zaman başladınız?
Bizim Türk sporlarından atlı cirit diye bir sporumuz var. Ben cirit sporcusuydum. 2005 yılında yerde ok atan insanlarla tanıştım. Onlardan okçuluğu öğrendim. Ve 2006 yılında İstanbul'da Kağıthane Cirit Festivali'nde resmen başlatmış olduk.
He was a Cirit player. There is another game which is Turkish game on horse they playing, and one day he met with walking archers. Then at 2006 he play in organization Cirit, and he start horseback archery there.
Is this your first World Nomad Games?
Göçebe oyunlarına ilk defa mı geliyorsunuz?
Bu 3. gelişim.
This is the third time he joined
Oh,
this
so
game.
you've been to every game.
Bütün oyunlara geldiniz demek.
Geldim, evet.
Yes.
What do you like most about coming and competing in the games? What do you like most about competing in the games?
Bu oyun hakkında en çok sevdiğiniz şey, kendi oynadığınız oyun hakkında en çok sevdiğiniz şeyi soruyorum.
Her tarafını seviyoruz. At üstünde ok atıyoruz.
We are shooting over horses, because of that we love everything of the game.
What is, can you tell us a little bit about the history of your sport?
Biraz oyunun geçmişinden bahsedebilir misiniz?
Türklerde okçuluk çok eski tarihlere dayanır. 5000 yıllık bir bilinen tarihi vardır. Atalarımız 3 kıtayı at üstünde atlı okçular fethetmiştir.
It's traditional game, but it goes back too far. We know about 5,000 years, and our grandfathers take 3 continents over horses with horseback archery.
So, when is your guys' first competition? When is their first event?
Sizin ilk etkinliğiniz ne zaman olacak diye soruyor.
5'inde.
5th September.
Well, good luck.
İyi şanslar diliyorum.
Teşekkürler.
Thank you. Thank you.
Kırgız halkını
All right, so I am standing here with Lindsay and Chip, and they are actually Americans competing in the World Nomad Games, which I don't know. I didn't know we had a team until a month ago, and I've been planning on coming for a while. So why don't you guys introduce yourselves and tell us a little bit about the sport you're going to be competing in?
I'm Chip Conrad from Sacramento, California. I compete in Moss wrestling, which is a tug of war between two people trying to yank somebody over a board with a stick in their hands.
Okay, and Lindsay?
I'm Lindsay Hall. I'm also from California area. I know the sport originated in Russia, and we had just started about 5 years ago. Moss Wrestling USA team. So it's a new sport in the United States. It's just starting to gain a little bit of popularity.
So how did you guys become interested in competing in Moss Wrestling, especially if it's so new for the States?
So we compete in strongman competitions. There's a well-known strongman named Ode Hagen who hosts a lot of the meets. He creates a lot of the meets, and he fell in love with Moss on one of his travels around the world, and he brought it to America, and he's been adding it regularly to his competitions. And since we competed in a lot of his meets, we got suckered into it, and so we've been doing it for a while. This is my second international competition. It's Lindsay's first, but she's one of the top Moss wrestlers in America, probably the world right now.
Lindsay, Lindsay, how does it feel being one of the top Moss wrestlers in the world?
She just finds this out right now.
It's new to me, that's for sure. I'm really happy to be here. It's really exciting.
So, you guys flew here from America? Were you training in America?
Yeah.
So you flew here from America. You're in the middle of Kyrgyzstan. We're not even in the capital. We're on the edge of a lake and like these resort towns. What kind of cultural shock or anything have you guys had all of a sudden being here?
It's been nothing but culture shock. Whatever expectations and perceptions we had originally, we just had to get rid of them and go. And as Lindsay says, we've been going with the flow ever since. We haven't had a lot of time to explore it yet, but we have, from what we've seen, it's a stunning country, and we've got a lot of friendly people.
Yeah, the people are amazing.
Yeah, and so we're excited that we get to spend the entire week here.
So, Lindsay, what kind of countries are you guys going to be competing against?
Well, the Russian team is probably, since that is one of their national sports, is going to be the highest competition.
Okay.
I know that there are 180 competitors in Moss this year, and that's actually the biggest Moss competition ever. There'll be 204 competitions at the World Championships in a couple months. And I think there's people. Let's see, I don't know, name us some countries.
Oh, so all the stands are represented.
Yeah.
Russia, of course, will be dominant. Bulgaria's here.
Bulgaria. I live in Bulgaria. I got to go find
kidding.
them.
Yeah. We met them the other day. I will imagine that most of the countries here will probably have some sort of Moss representation.
Wow. Well, good luck, guys.
Thank you.
Thank you very much.
My name is Furqan Ahmed Khan, and I am from Islamic Republic of Pakistan, and I am right now at head of delegation of Pakistan team contingent, and we have came here to participate in different games like wrestling, Togoskar-Gol, Mangala, Awari, and traditional wrestling styles like Alish, Kyrgyz Kuresh, Kazakh Kuresh, and Gulesh, every style. So inshallah, we are planning that we will take gold medal and go back with that. Yes.
Have you been to the World Nomad Games before?
Yes, I've been in 2016, and with my team, we were in 12 in numbers last time in 2016, but this time we are 27. So it's a big contingent. Yeah.
So I don't think when most people think of Pakistan, they don't necessarily think of these kind of nomadic games. Are they indigenous to Pakistan?
Yes, there are a lot of indigenous peoples and a nomadic tradition in Pakistan, but peoples are getting affiliated with the things like WhatsApp, Facebook, mobile communications, and electronic things. So that's why they are forgetting each and everything, our cultures, domains, and indigenous and nomadic cultures. So we have it, but this type of games should be organized every year, every 2 years like this, so that people come to know that they belong to that tradition or nomadic. So I think every country should organize that event so that they can upbring or boost their culture.
Which of the sports did you guys compete in last time?
We competed in mass wrestling, Kyrgyz Kuresh, Gulesh, and yes, these three sports. Yeah.
And how did you personally become interested in this type of sport?
I was just checking up on the Facebook or you can say on social media. I was just working on it, and I just find out that wow, these are traditions available in the world. So let's do this. I just thought that these are only available in Pakistan, but no, it's all over the world now.
And do you compete in any of the sports?
This time, unfortunately, not due to the huge contingent that I bring, and it's, I think, better than me. So I think they should be given a chance to compete and brag something good for Pakistan, for their country.
So when you guys go back to Pakistan and you talk about the games, what's the reception like back home?
Yeah, the reception is like you can get from here that the Ministry of IPC in Pakistan is personally involved in sending a contingent to Kyrgyzstan for World Nomad Games, so that the relations between both countries get well, and a lot of traditions of sports can be manipulated from Kyrgyzstan to Pakistan and Pakistan tradition to Kyrgyzstan.
Now, what is one thing that you wish that the world outside of the nomadic games and traditions knew about these types of sports?
I think there should be no borders in the whole world. Everyone can meet up, and there should be peace everywhere. Everyone can live with freedom.
Thank you so much. Good luck. Go Pakistan.
Thank you. Thank you. Thank you very much.
I'm Dan Carlin, and I'm here to demonstrate Highland Games heavy events to the people of the World Nomad Games.
So, when I think of the World Nomad Games, and I don't know if many of my listeners have ever thought about them before, because they're, I think of Central Asian sports, and I don't know if until I saw you guys here today, if I thought, oh, of course Scotland would be represented. What made you guys want to come, and what are you looking forward to?
We were invited by the British Royal Ambassador to Kyrgyzstan, who was here 2 years ago for the second Nomad Games, and was a bit annoyed that there was no one from the UK being the British Ambassador. So he decided to try and get someone from Britain to come in, so he's lumped us in.
So what are you going to be doing?
We're going to be throwing the caber, which is basically a telegraph pole. Do you know what a telegraph pole is?
Yeah.
Big
wooden pole.
So we're going to be shot putting, which you see in track and field, and throwing a 28-pound weight for distance, and we're going to be hammer throwing, which is just as it sounds, throwing a hammer. But not a real hammer, a hammer that's been slightly modified to be able to throw it really far.
And these are traditional Scottish games?
Yes, those are all traditional Scottish games that come from farms and battlefields and all Scottish places.
How long have you personally been doing them?
About 5-6 years.
Okay. And what do you like most about participating in these traditions?
The best thing about it is when you're abroad at random events and people ask you to be in their blog.
Well, that is pretty
or podcast.
Yeah.
But overall, no, just the sport and competition, the getting to know all these different people, going different places all over Scotland, gives me an excuse to go places that I would never otherwise go. We make a bit of money out of it. And women love the kilts.
They do. So tell us a little bit about, so your kilts is green, red, and navy.
I can't help. I'm colourblind.
Okay.
Sorry.
I guess.
And it bears no significance to my family whatsoever.
It's not what you're like.
It probably bears significance to someone's family, but just not mine.
So my last name is Craig. My family came over from Scotland and a bunch of other countries. And we always talk about we don't always, but we talk about our tartans, and Americans who are Scottish like to be like, oh, that's ours.
Oh, of course.
What is it like for you guys?
For us, I think I'm actually from an Irish background. Okay. My family are Scottish, but a couple of generations back, we all came from Ireland. And I think they have tartans as well, but we don't have a tartan.
Okay.
So being a Highland Games guy, I had to choose one. And I like ones that have got green in it because of the Irish connection, and because I support Glasgow Celtic, the greatest football team in the world, and their colour is green. So I like to wear a bit of green, but other than that, as long as it's not too expensive.
So since you've been here, what are some of the other sports that you're interested in? Maybe
I've heard goat polo is a must.
I just so on this episode, I talked to one of the American Kok Boru goat polo players. Yeah,
there's American goat polo players. You're joking?
Yeah, you'll have to tune in to.
America's even more wild than I thought.
Well, it makes sense. We have a cowboy tradition, and we like horses.
Can I say build the wall? Is that a bad thing to say on the pod?
So when are you guys going to be doing the demonstration?
Tomorrow, I think, is our main demonstration, and then throughout the week we're doing smaller masterclass type sessions where people who are particularly wanting to hurt themselves or whatever, just want a shot of throwing a hammer because they've not thrown one before, will be able to have a shot.
Excellent. Well, thank you so much and good luck in your demonstration.
No problem. I'm shaking their hand for the benefit of the tape. And hello, America. Thank you.
Thank you. All right, so I'm now talking with Evan Horn, who is a U.S. Peace Corps volunteer in Kyrgyzstan. So how has your time in Kyrgyzstan been like?
My time's been a very interesting experience so far. I've been here for about a year now. I live in northwest Kyrgyzstan in the Talas region, and it has definitely been a culture shock, to say the least, as Chip said before. But now that I've been here for about a year, it kind of feels like I've gotten used to the ins and outs of life here and the differences in culture and food and all of the like.
So now that the games are here, what kind of talk have people in Kyrgyzstan been having about the games coming?
Everyone is super excited about it. Kyrgyzstan is not a very well-known country. The people here recognize that. So anytime that there's an opportunity for people to gain more knowledge and experience the beauty and wonder of Kyrgyzstan and what it has to offer, the people get super excited and want to share with them. This region is super well known for how hospitable the people are. And
what's the main... Oh, sorry.
No, you're fine.
What's the main cultural, or what's one cultural tradition that you found here that you didn't know about beforehand that you just fell in love with?
So for me, one aspect of the culture here that I love is how younger men always have to go up to older men to shake their hands and say hello. In America, if you don't know somebody on the street, you don't go say hi to them. It would be weird if you did. And here, it is considered shameful if you pass someone on the street, an older man in the community, and you don't say hello. It's a sign of respect, and it's something that I really respect and really enjoy about the culture here.
What's one sport in the games you're looking forward to seeing?
Well, I am participating in arm wrestling.
Wow!
Yes.
Congratulations! I didn't know that.
Yes, thank you. The arm wrestling team is not made up of professional athletes like Chip. We are Peace Corps volunteers who live in the villages, and we don't have access to training regimens or always proper nutrition. And we were drafted into the games for a lot of sports like Ordo, Oware, and a bunch of different ancient nomadic sports, including arm wrestling, to come participate and represent Team USA. And after seeing some of the guys from different countries here, I don't like my chances of bringing home the gold in arm wrestling, but I'll try my best.
Well, we believe in you. We're rooting for you.
I appreciate it. Thank you.
Oh, cool. All right. So now I'm talking with Ashley Purdy, who is also representing Team USA in arm wrestling. Ashley, how did you make the arm wrestling team?
Great question. I, like Evan, am also a Peace Corps volunteer. So we had the opportunity to compete in certain games, and we both did college sports, so we wanted to try something. Water polo, not arm wrestling, but I've heard it transfer as well. Anyways, so we had the opportunity and we kind of jumped on it. Like he said, Kyrgyzstan is not well known, but the World Nomad Games are a big deal for this country. So to have the honor and the opportunity to participate in it is pretty awesome. We're really excited.
So what is one cultural aspect of living in Kyrgyzstan that you have kind of fallen in love with since you've come here?
Kyrgyzstan has been an adventure, but one of the things is the respect is really big in this country, especially with your respecting your elders. So public transportation everyone takes in this country, and when you get on the buses here that are called marshrukas, if an older woman gets on a marshruka, called an AJ, the young boys, the young men, they automatically give up their seat for a woman, just out of respect and courtesy. And it's something that's like innate in this culture. It's totally ingrained.
What kind of work are you doing here when you're not arm wrestling?
When I'm not arm wrestling, I actually am an English teacher. Okay. I live in the south of Kyrgyzstan. I live in Osh City. It's the second largest city, but I teach.
There's a UNESCO World Heritage Site there, right?
There is. Wow, very good.
I was trying to figure out if I can go, and I don't think I have the time, but it looks really cool.
It's honestly, if you were able to, it'd be awesome. Solomon Toe is like one of the gems here, and like I said, Kyrgyzstan isn't well known, but that's one of the things that's a huge draw, especially for the Muslim culture. People take their pilgrimage down here or down in Osh in order to go and see Solomon Toe because it's a huge part of the country and the culture.
Any final thoughts before the games?
Please send us good thoughts. We can use all the help we can get. We're competing with some incredible athletes who train year-round at arm wrestling, and we are just English teachers.
Well, this is going to come out tomorrow, and I'm sure every American, North American who listens to it is going to be rooting for you guys. Good luck.
Thank you so much. I appreciate it.
My name is Trevor Simon. I'm from the beautiful Twin Island state of Antigua and Barbuda, and I'm here to take part in the game of Owari and also Tugoskoga.
Hello, good day. My name is September Christian, Antigua and Barbuda, and I'm also taking a part in the World Nomad Games to 2018 in the Owari and the Togos choral competitions.
And how did Antigua end up fielding a team at the World Nomad Games?
Well, it is a long story. It just started in 1997. We have been at the Mind Sports Olympiad in London from 1997 until 2018. We have won all the competitions that we've been in. We have never been defeated in a world competition.
And how did you guys personally decide to participate?
We were sent invitation. We were invited by the Nomads organizers.
Oh, wow. Congratulations.
As a matter of fact, we were here 2 years ago.
Okay.
In 2016.
And since you've never lost a competition, does that mean you guys are first place World Nomad?
Over and over.
Now, can you tell us a little bit about the sport?
Okay, it is an old African sport that in the Caribbean, we call it Wari. The French will call it Awale. And it's being called a few other names. But we have been playing it in Antigua and Barbuda for probably centuries, from the days of slavery to now, and we have mastered it. As a matter of fact, right, we have played it casually all our lives. And it is only 1997 when they start having the world competition that we knew that we were that good.
Now, when you play this game, what does it look like when someone's playing the game?
It's a game of strategy and high concentration. Strategy and counting. It's a mathematical board game, so a lot of counting is involved, but a lot of strategy is also involved in the game.
And what's your favorite part of playing the game?
Well, I will say at the end game, because at the end game is very, very technical, and that's where we have won most of our games.
Oh, wow. Well, go Antigua and Barbados.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Thank you.
My name is Ghulam Reza Jafari. I am president of Rural Sport and Traditional Game of Iran. We are here to participate in World Nomad Game to introduce cultural of Iran.
Okay.
Yes, we use the traditional game to teach and promote the basic skills in the children, and there is a great chance for future. I think we can communicate between other country by traditional game, and we need to support by government, not only in Iran but also in the world, because traditional games has some features. For example, is very cheap, and you can use from them to teach skill life to children.
And what sports does Iran participate in here?
We are about in Iran, a special pahlavani,
Okay.
you know. But my sportmen and sportwomen will participate in about 9 kind of sport. For example, mass wrestling or Isyk-Kuling, traditional wrestling, archery, traditional archery on back horse, and else some courage, abagurush, gulishmak, traditional wrestling.
And people in Iran grow up playing these games?
Yes. In Iran, leader of religion of Iran say to government support our traditional games, because we can introduce cultural to world, and very important. And government support my federation to participate in this World Nomad Game, and I hope to be hosting in my country in future.
Were you here in 2016 at the last games?
Yes, I was. We had 5 sportsmen and get 6 gold medal.
Congratulations!
Yes, thank you.
What is your favorite part of the games? What are you looking forward to the most?
What?
What are you looking forward to this year the most?
I don't understand. What do you say?
What do you think is the best part of the games?
Favorite game? Me?
Yeah.
I like many games. For example, there are about 1,000 kinds game in the Iran, and the same I see same that in the Isyk-Kul, but I don't believe traditional game for championship.
Okay.
Traditional game has, I say to you, have some future we can use to teach children. It's very important. No championship, no gold medal, no silver, but we can communicate and promote peace in the world by the diplomacy of sport.
Excellent. Well, thank you so much.
You're welcome.
My name is Isyk-Kul, and I represent the U.S. Agency for International Development. It's USAID Competitiveness, Trade and Jobs in Central Asia project. Yeah, so we basically work in 3 different sectors, including horticulture and transport logistics, and a new experience in developing tourism sector in Central Asia. So we work for this purpose here.
And you're here to watch the games?
Yeah, we are watching the games, and basically we will represent in Kyrgyzstan, Dodge, 5 our destinations will feature there, and we work with them.
And what will they be in the gorge? What are they doing?
They will represent, the tourism sector, the travel agents, and we work also with bloggers to take a tour around Isyk-Kul so that they can familiar with the Kyrgyz Republic and they can develop tourism sector.
So for Americans that haven't been to Kyrgyzstan, what do you wish they knew about the country?
So I think the Central Asia, the region itself, it's kind of unique because it's a landlocked country, and we hope to develop this country in terms of attracting tourists, many tourists in Kyrgyzstan. I think this is a great country with a great landscape.
It's beautiful. What is your favorite place? Like, if somebody was going to come, where should they go first?
I think Isyk-Kul is a very good place because we have a very good skiing resort there. This is quite familiar for CIS countries. And Isyk-Kul itself, it's a beautiful country. This is the second highest lake in the world.
Oh, wow. I didn't realize that. So what do the World Nomad Games mean to Kyrgyzstan?
So the World Nomad Games, basically this year we are celebrating the third Nomad Games, and it become popular because, you know, it's very colorful, traditional with ethno style, and we would like to show to all over the world that this is a beautiful country with nomad culture.
What are some of the games that people are going to play here?
So we will have a number of nomad games, like mostly with riding horses, and people can enjoy that kind of sport.
What's your favorite one to watch?
It's Kok Boru. It's a really interesting fight between two teams. Yeah, I will enjoy it, I think.
Excellent. Thank you to everyone who appeared on the show today. Each of these athletes and national representatives took the time to speak with me while preparing for the World Nomad Games opening ceremony. If you want to see more about the games, I'm covering them on my Facebook and Instagram pages. I'm History Fangirl on both. I've already posted a video of some of the music being sung on horseback. Instagram stories like crazy, and a couple Instagram photos already, and then all week it's going to be nuts. Housekeeping. If this is your first time listening to the show, head to historyfangirl.com for links to subscribe, or you can listen to the show right on my website. If you're already subscribed, please take a moment to rate and review the show in iTunes or the podcast app of your choice. And thank you so much for listening.
Modorgo pana sanamde